Paralympic superstar Oksana Masters opens up on frustrating time following heartbreaking injury. Oksana Masters' life is nothing short of amazing. As the most decorated U.S. Winter Paralympian ever, she's racked up an impressive 17 Paralympic medals across both the Winter and Summer Games. While she's known for her skills in para-biathlon and cross-country skiing during the winter, her journey actually started with para-rowing, where she won a bronze medal at the London 2012 Games. But Oksana Masters faced a back injury that changed her path. Ultimately, she discovered her love for paracycling and really made a splash there too. Oksana's story is truly inspiring, growing up in a Ukrainian orphanage and then becoming a known figure for Team USA. What a journey! Well, Masters' story is widely recognized among U.S. Paralympic sports fans. Born in Ukraine, she was affected by the Chernobyl disaster's radiation, leading to disabilities including tibial hemimelia. At 8, she was adopted by gay masters from an orphanage. By 14, Oksana Masters had both legs amputated above the knee and underwent surgeries to adapt her fingers into functioning thumbs. But at that time, she got support from her mom. Masters reflects with Olympics.com on 3 pivotal moments in her life when she felt truly saved. Adopted from Ukraine, she credits her mother for saving her first by bringing her to the United States, where doctors had once predicted she wouldn't live past 10. As she puts it, "My mom saved my life, literally, from Ukraine because they told her I wasn't supposed to live past 10 years old." Her mother played a crucial role again by introducing her to the world of sports, which would become a transformative force in her life. Through sports, Masters discovered the path to self-love and acceptance, realizing that this newfound passion had saved her in a profound way. However, sports were not something Oksana Masters ever saw herself pursuing. The idea of becoming an athlete, let alone a Paralympian, seemed impossible. In her words, "And also, I'm missing my legs. How on earth can I be an athlete?" But with her mother's encouragement, she began para-rowing at 13, shortly after her second leg amputation. Finding herself on the water, Masters felt a sense of belonging and healing she had never experienced before. Sport became her therapy, helping her heal mentally from the scars that weren't visible. This foundation of love for the sport, rooted in healing rather than competition, eventually led her to an extraordinary athletic career, earning 7 gold, 7 silver, and 3 bronze medals across 6 Paralympic Games in 3 different sports. As Masters prepares for her 7th Paralympics in Paris 2024, a hint of apprehension still lingers beneath her determination. Oksana Masters gears up for the 3rd Paralympic Paracycling Challenge. In Paris, Oksana Masters is set to make her mark for the 3rd time in paracycling, competing in the H5 hand cycling category. She'll tackle both the H4-5 women's time trial and the H5 women's road race. Excitement bubbles up for the U.S. star as she prepares to race in front of passionate fans in a country renowned for its cycling culture. France, home to the prestigious Tour de France, is a place where cycling is more than a sport, it's a way of life. Beyond the racing circuit, Masters expanded her horizons by becoming a published author last year. Her memoir, released in February 2023, played a significant role in her healing journey, offering a fresh perspective she's eager to share. Masters reflected, "Just live in the moment and see each day and take the things that went well. Focus on the things you want to improve and do not limit yourself and never count yourself out. It's all about turning life's lemons into lemonade and making the most of every challenge." After Tara Davis-Woodhall won her first Olympic medal at the Paris Olympics, gold no less, in the long jump, the world watched as she dashed over to the stands to her husband Hunter, and the two shared an absolutely electric moment of excitement. "The whole world got to see how much he supports me," Davis-Woodhall said in a video interview after the competition. "That's just Hunter and I."
I feel like the moment with your husband has just like gone so viral.
I haven't even been on social media that much, so I don't know how viral it's gone. Everyone's been telling me the whole world's been seeing it, and that's just Hunter and I. And as much of a husband he is, he's my biggest supporter, and I guess the whole world got to see how much he supports me.
Though their celebratory embrace circulated endlessly on social media, it only scratched the surface of how sweet this couple's story really is. Now that Hunter, a decorated runner in his own right, is set to compete in the Paralympic Games, which kick off on August 28th, we brushed up on their backstory. Hunter was born in 1999 in Georgia with fibular hemimelia, the shortening of or lack of the fibula bone in the legs. When he was just 11 months old, his parents chose to have his legs amputated below the knee, and he grew up using prosthetics, something that didn't stop him from playing with his brothers, riding a bike, and participating in sports, where he excelled in track and field. When he was just 16, he competed in the Paralympics in Rio de Janeiro and took home a silver medal in the 200-meter T44 and a bronze in the 400-meter T44. "They said I'd never walk, so I learned to run instead," reads the tagline on his Instagram account. During his senior year of high school, sparks flew between Woodhall and Californian Tara Davis at a track meet in Idaho, according to a YouTube video the duo made.
Just let that sink in for a second, okay? This is a monumental time in our lives.
Anyways, when we were 16, we were in Simplot Games in Idaho. I came from California.
I came from Utah. We both drove.
I flew this time.
Oh yeah, you flew. You're right.
But then I had to land in somewhere in Utah and then had to drive, I think. I don't remember.
in Boise.
Probably.
Anyways, doesn't matter. So we both get to the track meet in Idaho. It's called the Simplot Games. It is amazing. And the crazy thing was, I wasn't going to go to this meet. Like, we had a dance that weekend at school, and I really am not an indoor track person. So I was like, you know what? I don't really need to be there. And then my buddies convinced me to go. So I ended up, going to the meet.
I saw him warming up for the 400. I was warming up for hurdles, and I just saw him and I was like, ooh, who's that? At the time, I didn't know he didn't have legs.
I was wearing pants.
Yeah, he's wearing some sweats. He was doing some of these. You doing that?
Yeah, that's good.
I kind of just stared at him for a little bit, and I was like, okay, well, this is awkward.
Before this, she was taking a picture, and my best friend's in the background. And that is the best friend that I told, because we were watching her race the hurdles before in the 400, and I was like, damn, that girl's fine. I'm going to marry that girl. And there's also a text that I sent to Tucker, who's one of my best friends. I said, this is a girl I'm going to marry. And then the next day was the 400. And that's where this story continued.
Yeah, the 400 was up, and I watched him run. He finished the race, and after everyone finished the race, they come off the side of the track, and I was standing there waiting for him, and I just kind of gave him a hug. I didn't really realize that I gave him a hug. He was kind of just in his own little world, huffing and puffing.
To be fair, I just ran a 400, okay? And I got off the track and I was dying, and she just walks up and she's like, I just need a hug.
Yeah, I just wanted
okay.
a hug.
And I hugged her, and I went back to my best friend Tucker that I was telling you about, and I said, dude, Tara Davis just walked up to me and hugged me. And he's like, dude, you're lying. No, she didn't. And I was like, yes. And we talked about it for a while. I guess that's really how we met, and that was kind of it for talking. I came up to her later at the award stands when I was getting my medal for the 400, and she was getting medals for the long jump and hurdles. And I don't know, we had a small conversation.
Yeah, it was really small talk.
Brief. Nothing crazy.
And then afterwards I told my mom, I was like, oh my god, Mom, this guy is so cute. Blah, blah, blah.
What happened?
And then I told her, I was like, oh my god, right after that, I was like, oh my god, I just talked to Hunter. She's like, who's Hunter? I was like, the guy with no legs, Mom.
My legs! The guy with no legs. That's how I was.
And she's like,
first.
oh.
And then I kept thinking about it. I was like, dang, I want to see this girl. So I started walking around Simplot, this big stadium, to try to see if I could find her. And I found her, but she was with her parents and her grandparents, so I got scared. So I just walked away. I was going to go say what's up, but I got scared, so I walked away. And that was kind of it. That's all we talked about, really. And then we got home. This was just hitting on the fact that if you're a girl and you like a guy, you can make the first move. Because Tara made all the moves.
I made the first move. I went up to him and hugged him.
And the second move.
And then we followed each other on Instagram and Twitter. So the first time I DM'd you, I think it was that one night where you were up. Yeah. So he was up tweeting on some weird mumbo jumbos type stuff.
Whatever.
And I was like, why are you up?
It was 11 o'clock, okay? It wasn't that late. I don't stay up that late.
I was like, why are you up? And he's like, I was just waiting for you to respond or something like that.
I'll see if I can go find the DM. It was over a year ago.
I was like, oh,
year and
this
a half
guy
ago.
had some moves.
I mean, I
And then we just like had like a little short conversation. He's like, well, I gotta go to bed. Good night. I was like, okay, cool.
She slid into my DMs. I
And
spent
you
a little
dipped.
bit of game, and I had to bounce.
I was like, all right, bet. That's how I see how it is.
I think the next day I got your number.
Yeah.
And then we texted and Snapchatted a little bit. And then a few months down the road.
Like we didn't talk for that long though.
No, we really didn't. And a few months down the road, we would like talk here and there. And then we like hung out at Arcadia.
Yeah. Okay. So Arcadia, this is like when we like started talking. Like,
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah. Every day, all the time. So in April, yeah, we were talking all the time. We hung out there.
I invited him to this party
We all went to a party.
where a bunch of noobs were. It was not comfortable with at the time.
I was comfortable with.
You were not comfortable.
I had 3 friends with me who were not comfortable with the party, so we left. I said we left. Okay, we were there for like 20 minutes maybe. I said, this is a great time, Tara. I gotta bounce.
And I was like so butthurt. And I was at the time, one of my best friends was there. He came to my track meet, and I think Hunter thought that like we were dating.
I most definitely thought they were dating.
And we weren't. We were just like.
I was like, dang, I got played. Because we had been talking like all the time, like every day. And I was like, dang. But he did, Christian, if you're watching this, Christian, shout out to you, bro. He asked me for my autograph.
Yeah, Christian.
I was like, sure, bro, why not?
We go to June.
Until June, yeah, we go to June. Because our whole entire relationship has been distance,
Yeah.
practically. So in June is when I was back in California, San Diego training at the Olympic Training Center. And
Here he goes again.
Tara at 6 a.m. woke up and drove 2.5 hours to see me in San Diego. And we hung out, we had a great time.
That's when we had our first kiss.
The first kiss, first dates, all that kind of stuff. In Coronado, we went to Coronado.
He watched her compete in hurdles and sent his friend a prophetic text. "This is the girl I'm going to marry." The next day, Davis watched Woodhall run his race. He won and worked up the courage to ask him for a hug, an adorable foreshadow of their viral Olympic moment in Paris. Woodhall immediately reported to the same friend he'd texted before. "Tara Davis just walked up to me and hugged me." Later, at the awards ceremony, the two shared small talk, and Davis remembers telling her mom about the cute guy she had met. After going back to their respective homes, the pair started chatting over social media, and the romance took off. Woodhall went on to earn a Division I scholarship to run for the University of Arkansas, becoming the first double amputee to ever do so. Meanwhile, Davis spent her freshman year at the University of Georgia and then transferred to the University of Texas. The couple continued their relationship during this time, and both competed in the Tokyo Olympics, where Davis came in 6th in long jump and Woodhall took home a bronze in the 400-meter T62. In 2021, Woodhall proposed, and the pair got married in McKinley, Texas in 2022 and now live in Fayetteville, Arkansas. They document their lives, everything from how they met to their wedding to the morning after Davis Woodhall's win in Paris, on their popular YouTube channel. Following his wife's success in Paris, Woodhall is gearing up for his own events. He'll be competing in 2 events, the 100-meter T64 with the qualifying round on September 1st and the final round the day after, and the 400-meter T62, for which the qualifying round is on September 5th and the final on September 6th.
You're actually jumping very long there. Are you not afraid to be out of shape for the trials Olympics?
No, why would I?
Yeah, because you're doing very well actually.
Yes, peak season's not here yet, so we are still, very heavy in the weight room. A lot of sprinting, a lot of, jumps and stuff on my body. So I think once we get down to Olympic trials and the Olympics, I think you'll see something really big.
Good to hear. And can you tell us with a yes or a no if you ever jumped over 7:30 in the practice?
I plead the fifth.
For trials,
Yes.
what's the mindset headed into it?
The mantra's about still go out there, have fun. I think right now we're still cleaning up that approach and cleaning up the takeoff, quick last step. And, I'm moving back slowly but surely. I moved back a foot today, so that means more speed's coming down the runway. even into the headwind.
Tell me about that energy from the New York crowd.
The New York crowd is like, it's like Europe. I want them to travel with me all the time. Like, that was insane. It makes me feel really good about track, see where track's going in the right direction.
Kids wouldn't let you go get past.
No, but that's beautiful. I love it, and I was that kid too.
You posted a video on Instagram recently of a FaceTime with your nieces. Talk to us about like that support that you receive and how it's so inspiring.
Yeah, my family supports me like no other. My nieces are so young. I don't know if they really understand what's going on, but I think at the same time that they do, they know Auntie's like, she runs track and she's really, really good. And that's all I can ask for, is that they can just, watch me run, watch me jump, and just be in the moment with me.
Sorry, do you prep for like a big peak for Olympic trials, or is it like a little peak and then you go towards Paris?
I think it'll just be a little peak and then I'll do Paris. I mean, coach has everything, scheduled out just perfectly, and regressions are going to start coming, and I'm so excited for practice to be so low-key and chill. We're still running fast and we're still running so much. I'm so tired of running.
You're tired of running as a
I hate running so much. When we have 120s on the menu, I'm like, please, no.
What happened to like the hurdles? I know that was a little kind of thing you were doing here.
So hurdles is still a thing. I love hurdling. I had strained my hamstring back in college, and that's why I kind of stopped hurdling. So getting back into hurdles, my hamstring was just a little bit not really messing with that a little bit, and so I think I need more, time to get, worked up into the hurdles and whatnot.
To run, Woodhall uses blades, curved prosthetic lower limbs made of carbon fiber. Blades are light and springy and favored by runners for their technology. When the foot hits the ground, the blade compresses, storing potential energy. Then it rebounds, pushing the runner forward using nearly all of the energy generated by the stride. By any measure, Woodhall runs fast. He can finish the 400 meter in 46.09 seconds. For comparison, the world record for the 400 meter for any runner is 43.03 seconds. So we'll be cheering for Woodhall to chase down a gold. As he recently posted, "I will not be participating at the Paralympics, I will be competing," putting a new definition on disability. And we'll be keeping our eye out for Tara in the stands in her signature cowboy hat. And we can only hope for another victory celebration from this powerhouse of a couple.
What was the question?
The question was, what was it like in Tokyo when it was a silent stadium?
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I did not like that. I mean, it was a mental type of competition because there's no one watching, and it's my first Olympics there, and I was like, what the heck, this is weird, but I'm glad that's over, and I'm glad I'm going to Paris to actually experience an Olympics.
And how do you engage the crowd? Because I feel like you are one of the athletes who really is able to tap into the crowd's energy, and they love. It seems like a symbiotic thing.
Yeah, I was a cheerleader at one point in my life, and I just knew how to crowd lead, and getting the crowd involved means they're watching, and that's one of my biggest goals in my entire life, and I've always said it since I was probably in 8th grade. I was like, what do you want to do in this world of track and field? And I was like, I want to change the game of long jump. And I have said that, asked my parents from that day, and from that day on, I've been changing that game of long jump for sure.
And the reaction to it?
So if you don't know, I fouled 2 jumps, and it was honestly one of the scariest moments of my career, but I did not let that get to my head. I had to stay focused, I had to stay present, and I just allowed myself to, embrace it, and, whatever happens after that. And I went back, I moved back half a shoe, and I was like, okay, let's go. And I took it with ease. I did not push very hard. I just wanted to get on the board and I didn't even want to get on the board, honestly. I just hoped I'd get on the back of the board. And, I ended up getting on the board, dead center, 667 or something like that, 664. Yeah, I haven't jumped like that in a very long time, but at least it got me in the finals, and I had to work my way up from there. That was a lot of emotions. I already logged online to freaking Twitter, which is the worst idea ever. And they're like, oh, hope that pressure doesn't get to her. I had no pressure. I have just never been this fast in my entire life. Coach was out there, he's like, T, I have never seen you this fast. So it's like, I am still working on perfecting my craft. I am not at the perfect peak right now. My peak is not for now, it's for in a month. So dealing with that stuff, trying to get that rhythm back, trying to be on my own zone, be in my own world. And now we're gonna go back to practice and do me.
After that kind of like tumultuous first few jumps, making sure you had those 3 extra jumps and then jumping 7, does that kind of give you confidence that no matter what happens in Paris, you're going to be able to like...
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm ever going to have a competition like that ever again. I think a lot of, so a couple days ago, I have some bumps and bruises. I'm almost positive I have a heel fracture. And if you look, every time I got out the pit, I was limping and I was trying so hard not to limp. And so we're dealing with that. And this was my first competition. I did it at New York City Grand Prix. And now, that guy's gonna go post to the world. Oh, that's... this was my first competition back that I was dealing with this. And I ended up changing spikes. Like the spikes that I was wearing today, I have not worn all competition because the spikes I was wearing before had a carbon fiber plate and that was hurting every time I jumped. And yeah, there was just a lot of things going on in this competition that no one knows about, and I'm just so thankful that I got to #1.
In Atlanta, you also had some, foul issues or, back and forth. Did that experience help you here a little bit?
I mean, probably. I have no idea. I don't think about the last competitions. I'm just thinking about what I have in front of me, and what I had in front of me was I was going too fast to back up. And now when we go back to practice, I will start at 125. I was starting at 124 before. So now I have to go start at 125 or 125.5. And it's the smallest minute details in perfecting this craft.
And think about the fact that they're talking about future competitions where they get rid of the board and measure from wherever you take.
We're talking about Paris.
Well, just
sorry.
Just curious because I did ask you in Atlanta about Michael Johnson's league. Since then, there's been more.
We're talking about Paris, guys.
Okay.
Yes, look at my boots. Look. Other things. These are Tecovas, and then I reached out to Crystal Coated on Instagram, and she did this, and they are absolutely stunning.
And are you getting new ones for Paris? Like, what is the looks gonna be?
Girl, I just got to Paris, so now I'm, gonna soak all this moment in, and just be in this moment and go have a few drinks.
Tara, was there anything specific that you were saying to yourself after those first 2 jumps to get you ready for that 3rd one?
I can't remember fully, but I think I said I'm the queen of the castle, and I was like, you got this, I'm the queen of this castle, you can do it. Martha Watson, I saw her on Friday night, and she was like, she's a long jumper, and she was like, every time I stepped on that runway, I said I was the queen of the castle, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that as well. And so I said that, and I told myself to breathe in. When I say breathe in confidence, exhale fear, and that's what I did, and now we're here.